Hello, I'm Corey Brock, and this is my presentation on People First Language. Let's talk about what is People First Language. People First Language is used to communicate appropriately and respectfully with and about an individual with a disability. People First Language emphasizes the person first, not the disability. People First Language puts the person first, person before the disability, and describes what the person has, not who a person is. And the picture here, see the person, not the disability. Our language is powerful. Our words can have an impact on how others are viewed. You know, in school, it is easy to make negative assumptions about students with disabilities or students in general. I've heard it all before. That kid is out of control. He or she is not the brightest. He or she cannot control themselves, etc. I think as a teacher or an educator, it's easy to not think of the student when you're in a stressful situation or just not even thinking about it. Just because it's been so accepted before, so you've kind of used those terms before and worded it the way that you have. When we do that, it stays with the kid and does not give them a chance in other classes. So if you're speaking to other teachers, the other teachers hear you talk about that student, and when they get into your classroom, they necessarily don't have a clean slate or a fair chance. How do we use appropriate language? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention had a great chart, which I liked the tips part with it, that it says emphasize abilities, not limitations. So say this, person who uses wheelchair, and not this, they're confined to a wheelchair. Do not use language that suggests the lack of something, but say this, it's a person with a disability, person of short stature, person with epilepsy. So don't say they're disabled or handicapped or they're a midget or epileptic. Tip, emphasize the need for accessibility, not the disability. I never really thought of this one. It's accessible parking or accessible bathroom. It's not handicapped parking or handicapped bathroom. And don't use offensive language. A person with a physical disability. Don't say they're slow, simple, moronic, or a special person. Say person with an intellectual cognitive development disability. Don't say they're insane or crazy or psycho or maniac or nuts. I felt this chart was very good for me to see how we emphasize the abilities and things like that. Remember, the words used about a person have a powerful impact on the person. For generations, the hearts and minds of people with disabilities have been crushed by negative, stereotypical descriptors that, in turn, segregation, abuse, devaluation, forced sterilization, and worse. We must stop believing and perpetuating the myths of labels. Children and adults who have conditions called disabilities are unique individuals with unlimited potential, like everyone else. 1 in 5 people have a disability, which makes it the largest minority group. I want to talk about the People First Language Pledge. This is something as a staff that I would like to work and organize and create our own. Using People First Language is about having respect and following the golden rule. What are some things that are happening in our school that we need to work on? And I want to develop something like this. It's something that we could have by our computer or on our desk, that when we are getting flustered or confused, we could take a look at, and it could help us in a situation. Thank you for listening. And, this is a very important tool that we need to learn. And here are my references.